So, welcome back to Sound Bites. Today, I'm talking turkey quite literally with Chef Shahir Massoud. So, Shahir is a pretty talented guy. He's worked at some pretty prestigious restaurants south of the border, including Lupa, Del Pozo, and Jean Georges at the Mark Hotel in New York. He's helped open a chain of Italian restaurants and has been the culinary expert and co host of CBC's daily lifestyle show, The Goods. But amongst other things, he also represents Butterball Turkey. So welcome, Shahir.
Hello. Hey, thank you for having me. That was a great little trip down memory lane.
There you go. Well, you have
Yeah,
a pretty
I'll take it.
prestigious background, so that's pretty good. But
I
but you're based
appreciate it.
based out of here in Toronto, and we're of course in the East
Yeah,
Coast in Halifax. I was reading a little
yeah,
survey from Butterball, and it said even amongst young consumers that are 20 to 40, we still have turkey for Thanksgiving. So I
yeah,
guess the obvious
yeah, yeah.
question for you: are you a ham or turkey guy? I guess we know the answer, but you can say it.
Well, listen, I saw that report and I was actually really enthused to see even younger people saying some traditions we don't mess with. I feel like younger people mess with a lot, but they're not messing with turkey on Thanksgiving, and I appreciate that. I'm a traditionalist. Okay. So, a theme that we see this year is about a third of young Canadians want to put a spin on things, but they still want to have a turkey, a side, a vegetable. You can keep the framework of the tradition alive by having the bird and your potato side or your stuffing and a vegetable and a chutney or cranberry sauce of this type. But you can also get creative, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, and I think, when we're talking about young people and sometimes, that I think I've had that experience of cooking your first Thanksgiving dinner can be a little bit
Yeah. Yeah.
intimidating. Are there some rules for you in terms of like what's the best and safest way to kind of dethaw the turkey or have it get it ready before roasting it?
Well, okay, that's a great question. So, some butterball turkeys are actually designed to be cooked from frozen. So, I always encourage people to read the labels. This one came pre-stuffed. It was cooked from frozen. So, it will say explicitly on the label of the turkey if it should be thawed or cooked from frozen, pre-stuffed, etc., etc. So, cooked from frozen, you just brush it with some oil, pop it in an oven, 325. Either way is your magic temperature. And this is one of those myths that I don't want people to worry about. 325 the whole way. You're not knocking the temperature up or knocking it down. You're letting it go low and slow. The skin's going to get golden brown. The meat will cook evenly. That's your temp. Now, on the other hand, if you buy one that should be thawed, I always tell home cooks to really plan ahead. A turkey is a big thing. It's not going to thaw overnight. I always tell people you need one full day in the fridge for every 4 pounds of turkey. So if you get a 12-pound turkey, it's got to thaw for 3 days ahead. So read the labels and plan ahead. But after that, oil 325 and you can't go wrong.
That sounds really simple. Now
Yeah,
discovered that your parents are Egyptian, right?
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
does that impact, we're talking a little bit about the creativity in terms of
Yeah.
adjusting the size and things like that. Does your heritage play into how you prepare a Christmas turkey dinner?
Well, listen, Thanksgiving or Christmas, we were ahead of the trend because now it's trendy to kind of incorporate cultural flavors into your turkey and into your holiday meal. When I was a kid, my mom always had whole bird, but she would add some cumin, some coriander, spices like that. And that's the thing about turkey; it will take on whatever flavor, whatever direction you decide to go. So whether it's dry rubs or marinades, etc., you can really go in any different direction. On butterball.ca, I have a ton of different recipes where we had a modern Indian Thanksgiving recipe. We had a modern Middle Eastern Thanksgiving recipe. And it follows the same framework. You take the bird, by the way, they're already pre-brined for you, which a lot of people don't know. So
Mm.
butterball turkeys don't need salt. They're pre-brined for you. Half the battle's done. And then you can get coriander, cumin, za'atar for a Middle Eastern spin, or you can get garam masala for an Indian spin, or you can get oregano and chili pepper, chili flakes for an Italian spin. You can really take it any way you like, and I'm so happy to see young Canadians are actually doing that.
Yeah, and then does that kind of work its way into those kind
Yeah.
of favorite side dishes too?
Well, this is it. So the great debate is, do you go strictly traditional, mash, stuffing, gravy, and turkey and cranberry sauce? No one will complain. I love that. On the other hand, if you want to keep that framework, like I said earlier, the framework of a holiday meal is you get the birds at the start of your show, and then you get the sides, a salad or a vegetable. a chutney or cranberry sauce of some type, so you get that acidity and that sweetness. And then, of course, you need the starch, a potato, a bread-based kind of stuffing of some type. And you can really get creative and stick to a theme, whether it's, again, modern Middle Eastern, Mexican, Italian, but keep that framework in mind so that everyone can load up their plate. You can even season the gravy in a particular way. So you're keeping that tradition alive, but putting a little gourmet spin. I'm even seeing young Canadians and Canadians of all ages have more than one celebration. So there's a new term now, Friendsgiving. You get Thanksgiving for the family maybe on a Friday or Saturday, then you get the friends and family on a Sunday. So you can go traditional for one meal, maybe with whole bird, and then you can get creative and get different kind of culinary spins for another little Friendsgiving celebration, which I mean, I think people are craving getting together again after kind of having a few years off. And so, hey, even more than one is a great idea.
Amazing. So that kind of leads into another
Yeah.
question, because I think one of the we're all thinking now about food prices, making sure we're economical,
Yep.
making sure we're using
Yep.
everything that we buy. So you
Yep.
got some tips for after the turkey dinner, what to do with the leftovers?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We've never really seen food prices like this. So, number one, when you see a turkey, especially in the freezer aisle, on sale, which oftentimes at this time of year they are on sale and they're really priced to be approachable. Buy one or two, get your Christmas turkey now while it's on sale, throw it in the freezer. So that's number one. But number two, you want to use everything that you get. Again, on butterball.ca, over the last 7 years, I've amassed so many amazing leftover recipes. Shredded leftover turkey is conducive to soups, sandwiches, stews, quesadillas, all that kind of stuff. And even big batch cooking, like a big pasta bake that you can make ahead of time and freeze if you have lots of leftovers. So think about recipes that you can, obviously repurpose, but maybe even do like a big batch cook, a quiche, a pasta bake that you can freeze, and so you don't waste that as well.
Amazing. So, I guess, so when you cook dinner, is it I mean, are you've worked at
Yep.
some pretty prestigious places. Are you still keeping it pretty simple, or are you doing a little swoosh or a little flair to
Well,
kinda harken back to your old days of working with some pretty impressive chefs?
we were just talking off camera. I have two little kids, 6 and 2. They don't care where I used to work. They want very plain, straight up mashed potatoes, gravy, turkey. We're good to go. And so they want it plain, and that's totally cool. And look, like I said earlier, the fact that all of our butterball turkeys are pre-brined means enough salt. You don't need pepper. You can just brush it with oil, throw it in the oven. So if you're a simple eater like my kids, that's great as is. Little gravy on top, mashed potatoes, you're good. If you want to get more creative with big spices, coriander and black pepper and chilies and garam masala, you could go for that as well. But I always tell home cooks why a butterball turkey is so good. It really comes down to that brining process. It gets that meat infused with salt and moisture, keeps it moist, as long as you don't overcook it. So on butterball.ca, we have a turkey calculator, which is so useful. Once you get your bird, you type in the exact weight and it will punch out how long at 325. So this is really all it is. I oftentimes say, we mentioned all these fancy restaurants, but fancy cooking, home cooking, all of it's the same. It's time and temperature. It's just the balance of time and temperature. So you get the temperature down 325. Now it's a game of how long. And that turkey calculator on butterball.ca will tell you how long, but always check your internal temperature as well. That's going to allow your turkey to stay moist. So internal in the breast, you want 165. And in the dark meat, you want 180. And the thing about a turkey is you can't do the eye test with a turkey. It could look golden brown on the outside and not hit your temperature on the inside or go over your temperature. So check your temps based on that turkey calculator. Don't overcook it and you'll have a moist, perfect bird, that's what my kids are after, plain.
Amazing. Okay, so you got a family turkey dinner. Uh
Yeah.
I'm a sommelier, so I tend to think about the what I'm serving.
Nice.
Do you enjoy a glass of wine or something
Yes.
with your wife with dinner with turkey dinner?
Okay, so here's the thing about wine, and as a sommelier, you're going to know better than anybody. I always tell people with a turkey, first of all, with a white wine, a nice dry white wine. And here's why. Think about the balance of the meal. You're getting sweetness and acidity from the cranberry sauce or from the chutney aspect. You're getting richness from the gravy. A nice dry white wine is what you want. Nothing too sweet. Let the cranberry sauce be the sweetness on your palate as you get everything in one bite. I like to, with my holiday meal, I don't know if you do this. I like to get a mix of everything. You know, combine a turkey with the gravy, with the mash, little cranberry sauce, all in one bite. So think about a nice dry white that will kind of play with that. Nothing too sweet. On the flip side, and again, as a sommelier, correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes people think red wine has no place with turkey, and I disagree. You're talking about a dinner with lots of gravy. A Pinot Noir would be lovely with a nice turkey dinner. So don't shy away from it. If you like to drink it, drink it. Like it will work.
Great suggestions. I'll crack a bottle of Pinot,
Yeah,
thinking of you. So, thanks for taking the
it's my
time.
honor.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. That's some great tips. We'll make sure we post some recipes, and
Yeah.
we look forward to seeing you again.
Well,
So,
listen,
thanks
happy
very, very
Thanksgiving,
much.
everyone. And when in doubt, 1-800 Butterball, call us.
Okay, thank you. Well, have a great day, and we look forward to
Thanks.
cooking up based on some of your recipes.